This is the Sputnik chandelier from Amazon, and here is the SKU if you want to check it out. Not much to this thing. Let's get it out and take a look. It's got the main unit and a small bag of installation stuff. This thing has 3 main arms that come down. Each one has one that's already into it, and the other one swings from the other side, and you just screw it in there. What I like to do, because that can make it fairly tight, is however many turns that you're going to actually turn it this way. What I like to do before putting it into something like this is turn the same amount of turns the opposite way, so when you put it in, there's actually no tension resting on this part to kind of turn it back out over time. So before you put this up and actually install it onto the ceiling, you're going to want to note if this is a piece that you want coming through, and this is what it looks like, just upside down. And you can adjust however you want them to be. You're going to want to adjust them before you put it up on the ceiling, because once this is in there, you can't reach up there and adjust from there. You're gonna have to basically determine how you want it before you put it up. If you're trying to get it to look like it does in the picture, it can take a little bit of work. Up here, you would assume that you can just undo them, but they're so tight that they rotate the entire shaft, and it's really hard to adjust right here because these strike the other ones. So what I had to do was actually back these off as much as I felt like I could, and they didn't back off hardly at all. It just really rotated this thing, but it made it loose enough that I could rotate through. But that's about as good as I could get this to look like the picture, and the picture itself is a little wonky when you try to analyze it, I guess, but there we got it. And if you do try to adjust this, it is a 14 millimeter. That's what size these are right here. And here we have it installed. It did go up fairly easily. It had a couple different sets of screws with it. Some were a little bigger and some were smaller, but it is a really old J-box in here, so it actually really fit pretty well. The only complaint I would have about this light at all is when you're adjusting these out of the box to get it to look like it is in the picture. It's great that you can adjust them all over basically however you want. You can have them all in a row if you wanted, but to get them like the picture, you kind of have to screw around and go up top there, which is why I did it before installing it. Adjust it up there because adjusting down here is near impossible. All of these were already tightened, so nothing was really loose, but you want to make sure something like this to get it all the way up. And if you're not a licensed electrician, obviously have somebody else do it if it's not legal in your area. And I don't go over actual installs with electricity because I am not an electrician. I would give this 7 out of 10 lumens because it looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can get it all in the shot. I think it looks pretty awesome, but just screwing around with getting these adjusted to how I wanted them in the picture versus how they came out of the box, that was a little bit of a screw around. It wasn't too bad.